Everyone to stick with us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, hit the subscribe button. If you want to get notifications from when we go live, tap the bell. We go live 30 minutes after market close. Let's get these earbuds out of here. I was just on the phone. Definitely apologize for being a couple minutes late here. Had a phone call go a little bit longer than anticipated. But glad you're still rocking with me. If you want to become a member of our option trading group or the Discord, the links are below. What's going on, Jack, Mike, Easy, Whittick, Brendan? What's going on? What's going on, everyone? Hope you guys had a great day. Actually, what's going on, Garrett? Man. So, anyways, yeah, a couple minutes late. Shotgun Dovey, what's up? Made some money on Google Calls. If you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. Oh, I didn't see that. Google. I actually missed out on a lot today. I didn't actually start trading till like 1 p.m. So, which was like 2 hours ago. If you're in a different time zone, 1 p.m. Central Time. So I missed the morning, so didn't really have that many trades on, but we'll definitely go over it. Dovey, thanks for the $5, man. Let's see here. Got paid. Sold my Apple and Tesla. Your stock, Garrett, or your options? Yo, Richard, thank you, man. Can you go over some possible plays you're looking at? Sure, Whittick. You weren't here. Were you here last night, Whittick? Because I went over a lot of stuff. And for those that were watching the stream last night, I know I missed the stream, but I did do a live stream last night at 9:30 Central. Man, thank you guys. Justin got big paid. You mean got paid big? Jordan got paid on Microsoft. I made a little bit of money on Microsoft too. I'll go through my trades here. Well, Whittick, you gotta put the time in. We went through a lot of stuff last night. You could have been ready for today. We put a lot of time in last night. We put over an hour and 9 minutes to be exact. Ruben, yes you can. Only thing is you gotta be mindful of the PDT rule, pattern day trader rule. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Hit that Googles. What's going on, Kit? Hope you're doing well. Today was really a break-even day for me. I didn't really do a whole lot. The one trade that I did do here, you can see, I did swing trade Microsoft. Was a small winner. Bought it for 135 yesterday, sold it for 167. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been looking for small, consistent, repeatable plays, and just to get back on here because January was a red month for me. I'm being very, very, very cautious. However, that saying, I did trade Cron, and yes, I do regret it. I got an account Shirt Trader. Yeah, just got to be careful with Shirt Trader. Definitely not the best brokerage out there. Not the most reputable. Ruben, you can trade options in a cash account. You just have to make sure you have the cash to trade it. Basically, to kind of bypass the PDT rule. So I lost a bunch of Cron as well, so I didn't lose a lot. So we'll go over my trades here. That was the only trade I did on Tastyworks, is that Microsoft trade. Nice little winner, a little 20% win. And I've actually last couple of days I've been doing like 20% gainers. And my first trade of the day wasn't until 12:38 today, so I missed all morning. I came in late. Probably shouldn't have traded this, but it looked like a good trade. It did start to work out in my favor, but I bought the Cron 22 calls at 12:38 for $1.29. If we go into Cron here, oh, here we have the 22 calls here already. You know, pretty crazy on Cron last couple days. A lot of two-sided action. Definitely has been a good stock to make money on both sides. You know, and definitely what we like to see. two-sided action. We had a major rip from 22 to up to 25, back down to 22, and then it was actually like 20.50 this morning, ripped back up to like 24 before coming back down. So down in here, it looked like it was kind of leveling out and it wanted to go back up. However, it did break to the downside. So I put a position on it here. It cost me $1.29. When it broke down to here, I did say if it was going to become like $1, I paid $1.29. I sold it for 92 cents. So I lost $37 on it, as you can see here, and only for it to come back up to be profitable. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes you got to step yourself out. And in this case, I've been concentrating this month so far. I've been concentrating on more day trades, smaller wins, more consistent wins in day trades, and in that you have to stay disciplined with your mental stop loss, and that's what we did there. I disagree with you yesterday, Nick, and got paid for it yesterday on Baba. Nice, Eric. You can disagree. I don't mind if you guys disagree with me. I mean, no one here has to agree with me. I'm just laying out the way that I see it. I'm showing you guys the trades that I did. I'm not anything special. I'm just live, I guess. Whatever you call this. It's like a live blog, live vlog where I'm discussing my trades and hanging out with you guys. What's up, Drupka? I sold all options going into the State of the Union speech. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. FC, what's up? So we lost $37 on that. Not great, right? However, we did make $40 on GS, and GS has been one that I've been hitting pretty well on GS. And I talked about it yesterday, made a little bit of money there yesterday, and we made a little bit of money there today. We made 40 bucks, which was about 20%. I bought the 197.50 call for 227. So we have the 197.50. Let me just pull this call here. And I think the execution on this was pretty well done in staying disciplined. These are the kind of trades that I need to be focusing on, and these are the kind of trades that I like to do. Whether long or short, well, right now the money is we're being long, obviously. And this was a day trade. We made this how much time? We made 20% on this in GS in 12:46 and 108. So like 25 minutes. 25 minutes we made 20%. Pretty good. We went pretty small. So I bought it for $1.87. I sold it for $2.27. So bought it for $1.87, sold it for $2.27, 12:46, $1.87. So 12:46. I guess we were just catching this bar because it just opened up here. So right here, right when this bar opened up here, we bought it for $1.87, and then on this spike up here, we sold it for $2.27. About 20 minutes later. So, when it kind of topped out here, which was definitely good because, as you can see, it came back down. What is this worth now? It's worth $1.90. So we would have still made money. We still would have been up, but this is why you got to be disciplined when taking gains in this case, and then also like on Cron, like my Cron position went against me, but you got to stay disciplined because in the end it's going to save you. Yo, Manny, what's going on? Jimbo. Man, a lot of people here. So, luckily, GS paid for that Cron mishap. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm down $16, and that was due. I was actually up $3 before SPY. I still have this SPY position on, and at like 1:43 p.m. Central Time, I bought the 273 put, so 143 for 86 cents on SPY. My thoughts on SPY. My thoughts on SPY is that we were going to get some more two-sided action. It looked like, so on this bar, I bought it right here on this bar here, was looking to be dipping down. We had a huge rip. Other stocks were starting to come down, like the banks and stuff. I mean, if you looked at GS and other things, other stocks were starting to sell off and come back down to like where they were supposed to. Like this is what I want to happen with SPY. That's SPX. I'm just so used to looking at SPX. So really, what I wanted this on SPY, I wanted it to come down to like the low 272s here. So like 272.20, 272.30, something like that. Not to go back all the way down or below 272, but to catch wind of that, and it just didn't want to go. Unlike like GS, you know, we double topped up here, and then it kind of revisited this area. This is what I was looking for on SPY, but it just didn't happen. So it was going back up. So I bought a kind of for the Trump speech, and kind of we'll talk about that, what's going on with that. But what I was looking for swing trading it then, because I'm like, well, if this is not going to come down. Last time I held naked puts on SPY overnight, my puts instantly went to $0, and then SPY the next day went up $5. If I just placed a simple freaking call, we would have been up 300% or whatever, 200%. But so, you know, you learn your lesson, because that's just the way it goes. You know, if you're holding overnight, you know, you got to have protections in place. What's going on, Baron? So I bought the 273.50. I bought the 273.50 call. So right now, for 60 cents. Right now I'm holding the 273.50 call and the 273 put. So we're pretty tight on that. So if we get a down move or we get an up move, you know, we should be good on that. So that cost me 60 cents. This cost me 86 cents. So, you know, we're gonna need this to move. We're gonna need this to move to like 274.50 or like 271.50 ish to make money. To break even, you know, we'll probably, if we visit 272, we'll make some money. We'll make more money on the downside because I paid a little bit more for the put than the call, so we'll make a little bit more going down. But you know, we'll see what's going on. I saw the same thing, had a hunch on SPY and QQs. Maybe it'll come back down this week. Yeah, it really depends on what's going to happen with Trump. So this week, you know, I've been trading low and slow. You know, I missed the morning. We came in the afternoon, basically broke even, but I have a trade on for tomorrow, SPY. And as you guys can see, I've really scaled back how many trades I had at one time. At one point, you know, I was doing like 10, 12 trades, swing trading it, and you know, it was fine. But in this environment, you really got to slow it down and go closer to in the money, pay more for premium, go closer or in the money, and take advantage of the intraday moves. Because, you know, if we look at SPY here, it has gone from 262 to 272 in five trading days. You know, is it going to go to 280? I don't know, but I mean, if you're looking at the chart here, we've been praying for a pullback. All we had was a little bit of consolidation in here around like the 265 area, 263, and then we just been ripping up. You know, like SPX, SPY, you know, obviously, I think just to 280, 2,800, we're just gonna have to power through till then and see what happens. Unless something crazy happens with this announcement. And I do have, where did that go? I do have a little something here on the State of the Union that we ripped off of, what was it, Jeff? So Jeff put this together. What was this, Jeff? I don't know if it was CNBC or someone wrote an article, and they typed up what was expected to be in the, let's see if we could zoom in a little bit now. Sorry, I'm a Mac guy and run Windows. Okay. Anyways, so, Bloomberg. So they talked about what people are expecting in Trump's message here. And what people are expecting is obviously next steps with China. But if you look here, it says Trump is expected to reference a few areas where both parties can agree, including prescription drug prices and infrastructure plans. But it's difficult to imagine the rhetoric tuning into reality when Washington has struggled to keep the lights on. So, like, when you read stuff from Bloomberg or CNBC, you kind of have to think about the person that's writing this and the media outlet, because everyone has different spins. Like if you guys haven't known, like Fox puts a different spin than CNBC or NBC or CNN even, and basically what you want to look at is just some clues. You don't want to be like, I know there's a lot of people out there, especially some people that are like watch the channel, I know I've talked to, that they'll literally comb through this and be like, oh, they mentioned Caterpillar, I'm going to go all in cat. And most times, like, analysts are wrong. Like, analysts, you don't want to listen to analysts, but what you want to get from here is expectations. What is Wall Street expecting? And if Trump goes some other direction, expect some volatility is really what you want to do. Just because Trump mentions certain things doesn't mean anything's going to really happen. We could wake up tomorrow and the market's flat and everyone loses their premium. Or we can wake up tomorrow and it said something totally unexpected, and maybe Trump slept on the wrong golden pillow and is super cranky and he had a great speech last night, and then he goes on Twitter and says, forget everything I said, no deal with China, we're going to raise tariffs to blah blah blah. This guy, he gets a little turnt. So you don't know, just because we have the State of the Union address, that you think that he's put to bed. I mean, this guy's got Twitter fingers, man. So you got to be mindful of what's going on here. But what they're expecting is next steps with China. The thing is, if you guys haven't noticed with like Trump, is you don't know if it's really true or not. It's like, how many times has he said there's a deal with China and there's no deal? Like, how many times? So many times. Like, I don't even know how many times. It's a lot. And pretty much those spikes you just short, because they eventually come back down and come back down crashing. So I don't know. He's going to comment on China. If he doesn't say anything about China, I think that'll be very suspect that there's probably not going to be any deal. Additional threats to pull out of NAFTA, attempt to force Congress to support for USMCA, aggressive rhetoric around Venezuela, and leave the door open for further tariffs, but message that progress is being made. So that's what everyone is expecting to happen here. So you gotta, I don't know what's gonna happen. It could be anything. I think right now, because he had such a problem with the wall, and that they were strong arming him with the wall and all that he needed to reopen the government. And I think people are starting to blame him for the government shutdown, and that's not going to be a good look going into like the 2020 elections, especially when everyone in 2019 is going to start ramping up for those elections. So I don't know. I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like 2019 is going to be a very, very weird year. I don't think it's going to be, I think that people are thinking that they're going to get, the stock market is going to be a scam or anything. I think you just got to be very careful with where you put your money, because right now a lot of people are doing certain things to influence the market, including Trump, because he doesn't want the market to go down. Like pretty sure that if the market goes down, it's gonna be tough for him during those debates, because people will be like, hey, all those, if the market crashes in 2019, they're gonna put him to bed in 2020, and they're just gonna try to bury him with it. So, stocks that we know that are impacted a lot from the trade news are like the Chinese stocks like Baba, JD, also like Caterpillar and Boeing are also subject for. So if you guys want to get in on like the trade stuff, you want to be looking at Baba, JD, Boeing, and Caterpillar are some of the bigger names for, if you want to do that. The harder it goes up, the harder it's going to crash. Yeah. I mean, you guys see, like, when we were hitting 29, I was actually talking to FC about this, is we're at a point with the like low volatility where, remember in like 2017 and 2018, we kept cracking through new all-time highs, and like, but what the cracking through was like very slow. So you know, we were going up a little bit every day, but kept pushing those all-time highs, and there was no ceiling to really push us down, and people were making money. I think what's going to be very interesting right now is the people that bought for looking at SPY, the people that bought above 280, 290 area, are these people going to get greedy and see if they can make some money off their long wait? Because they literally saw, you know, their investments, the people that bought up here, they literally saw their money go away and then come back. So I don't know, because what would you do in that position? You know, if you bought up in here like 280 or above, if you bought 280 or above and you saw your money, let's say you held on because you want to be patient, you just put the position on a couple months ago, and you see it keep hitting 280, get rejected, 280 rejected, 280 rejected, and then came all the way down to 233, and now we're getting back to 280. You know, is it fourth time to the charm? We head back up to 290, or are we just gonna have this crazy, you know, back and forth where it hits 280 again and come back down hard? Brentley, am I expecting a market reset? I don't know. We talked about this a lot. 2018 was the first red year in 10 years, and we did the math. I went through everything. If you guys want to, if you go back into the videos on that, but basically, in the last like 50 years, we only had like 1 or 2 instances of back-to-back red years. Otherwise, we normally, in the last 100 years, we'd have a red year followed by multiple green years. Then we'd have a red year followed by multiple green years. So 2018 was a red year, so chances are 2019 is going to be a green year, but not saying it will be. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's going to do whatever it's going to do whatever it's going to have to do. You know, it's going to do what people want to do, and you know, but we talked about this a little bit yesterday, where I think, you know, personally, I think these valuations for the companies are like out of control. Like Apple and Amazon, I think they're crazy overvalued for their potential. Like what's your potential for the future? What's Apple's potential for the future? Right now, Apple's doesn't have any. The pipe is not full. They don't have anything in the pipe. You know, you need a plan for the future. Right now, just you fixing up the next iPhone is not going to prepare you for the next 50 years, you know? Snap. Okay, so yeah, Disney reported and so did Snap. Oh, wow. So we did talk about Disney. I'm sorry, we did talk about Snap. I think Disney did beat. They have their conference call right now. We talked about Snap yesterday. Someone brought it up. Where earnings was the catalyst, because this obviously is a very ugly chart. It's just been coasting lower on Snap. You know, just current bleed out. I mean, this earnings, what is Snap coming in at here? Okay, so they were expected to lose 7 cents. They came in actually losing 4 cents, so they beat expectations. Still losing, but I mean, they beat expectations. And if you're looking at Snap, I mean, this earnings was a catalyst, whether it returns back to $10 or if it's going to get smacked to penny stock land, like, you know, $5 or below. If we're looking at Snap, the expected move was $1.11. Right now, it has moved. Let's see, close it. So it moved like $1.35 right now. So it's a little bit beyond the expected move. You know, these options were pretty pricey in here. You probably could have made money if you just bought some calls here. Let's see here. It's hard to say what that. Let's see, theta. It doesn't say. I don't know. It's not showing what theta was for these guys here, so it's hard to say. And these were 3 cents because these are out of the money. So, you know, probably going to be up. If it opens up around here, these will probably be up like 150%, something like that. I would imagine. Oliver, I don't think Snap is like HMNY. I mean, Snap is totally different. HMNY was I honestly think that was like a Ponzi scheme or some sort of front, because they had no winning strategy. I mean, Snap doesn't make any money either, granted, But HMNY bought, they had Movie Pass, and they didn't have a way to profitability like ever. There was no way they could ever make money. There was no way. I don't know. It'd be like me opening a business and taking investor money and say, hey, we're never going to make money one day. And here, do all the math you want. It'll never add up to profits. But hey, but as you guys know, look at what happened to them. Is what it is. I bought the 117. Billy bought the 117 call. I think that's going to get crushed, my man. Billy, I think that's a tough one for buy something $5 away on Disney. Buy something $5 out. The expected move was 381. So like when I think that's gonna be tough. You bought it for it's only 17 cents. I think that's gonna be a tough one, especially at this rate. Especially at this right here. So we do have quite a few earnings on deck here. Let me pull this up. Where is it? No. Okay. So we do have quite a few earnings here. Brent's got a strangle on GM, and I do think GM will be impacted by. I think GM will be impacted by what Trump says as well. Spotify is a nice price stock, but nobody trades options on it. I wish they would. It's kind of like Shopify. CMG is not as liquid, but they've been on a crazy run. I think if CMG does well, they're definitely gonna knock this out of the park here. But kind of coming up here, it's getting a little toppy, but they're not near where they need it. They're still in recovery. Right here, this is the 5-year chart. They reached a high of 758. Right now, they're kind of getting topped out here, which we probably should have seen this here. Back a couple of years ago. This is 20. Let's see here. This is 2016 right here. They hit this before going lower. So, okay, snap call just started. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is just hitting some resistance. So when you have a stock like Chipotle, you gotta go back multiple years to kind of see where it's been, because the chart's gonna tell a story. Like the chart's gonna say where it's been, and for Chipotle especially, hasn't been entirely fair because they were under a lot of scrutiny, litigation even, on people getting sick in the restaurants, and now that's starting to bounce back. But they went through a very bad time. They went through a very bad time where, they saw their stock get cut down by like 75%, When you get a chance, check out GoPro. GoPro's tomorrow as well. But if Chipotle has good earnings, it gaps up above this like 550 mark. We're gonna. The one thing, if you've never, I've traded Chipotle a lot, not recently, but I've traded Chipotle a lot. But if you don't know, you got to be very careful here, because the bid and the ask are very wide, and also the volume is not very good. Not a lot of people trade this. It moves. This stock moves, and it moves big, but you got to be very careful on the volume. I've told you that many times. So if you're trading Chipotle, if you're a newer trader, don't trade Chipotle. If you're an experienced trader, trade Chipotle, but use extreme caution. So that's my little disclaimer. And GoPro. Is GoPro going out of business or what? Do people still buy those? I don't really know. They're always stocked up on the shelves, but I don't know. I feel like they're not doing very well as a business. They had last quarter. They had a nice run up before earnings, and then just disappointment from that, and hasn't recovered with the rest of the market. So, Richard, I think they're just struggling. Let's see if did they beat here. Okay, they missed. On this one, they beat. It did go up, but the pops are short-lived. I mean, this pop sold off, this pop sold off, this pop sold off. So I mean, it's not a for being long the stock, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's most likely due to people getting trapped in this thing. Yeah, it's like, you know, the people that are holding stock up here sell those pops. So that's kind of like what I was talking about SPY earlier, is the people that are trapped, do they sell or do they hold? And in this case, it looks like they're selling. Vicon might be a put, but didn't get it yet. Brent thinks CMG is a stable price. Yeah, I mean, it could. I think it needs a chill. I mean, Chipotle's been on a rip, but, you know, or you could say Chipotle's undervalued based on where it's been. You know, what a lot of people get mistaken about, and I feel like also with a lot of tech stocks, just because Amazon has hit a high of 2,050 doesn't mean it deserves to be that price. You know, just because it's been a price doesn't mean it should return to that price. I mean, I've mentioned this before. Like, if you look at Microsoft, and we go back. Okay, so it was like 60. Was it like $60? So in 2017, it broke above 70 bucks. So keep an eye on that. And if we go back, the last time, and this is what you gotta be concerned about. Microsoft, last time it was $60 before 2017 was $19.99 going into the year 2000. You know, we had this final push before the ultimate. Like, it literally took Microsoft. It took Microsoft 16, 17 years to get back to the same level. You know, think about that. I mean, 17 years passed. So people that bought stock up in here in 1999, 1998, they didn't see that stock return to that price in 17 years. You know, could they say that about Amazon? Could Amazon get cut down in half? I mean, it went from 60 down to the low 20s within a year or two. Within a year, it went from 60 to 20 and stayed there. You know, this looks like some very nice options trading charts, obviously, but that's why you got to be very careful about these bubbles. Like, this was obviously a tech bubble, but people don't see the bubbles until they explode or they burst, right? So but I feel like that's definitely, you got to be careful. I do think Microsoft is doing a lot better as a business than they were maybe in 1999, you know, especially with the cloud and Office and all that. I definitely think Microsoft has an edge there. But when a stock starts running like this, like 1999, 1997, 98, you know, looking at this looks very familiar, right? And then the bubble burst and all that cash left, and then that Microsoft didn't return, you know, back to that level. I mean, this looks like a spike, but it only went to 38. And we're coming back here. It got to $60, so $60 on 2017. So you gotta be very careful about that. And that's kind of what I say, like for Apple. I mean, just because a stock has been up here doesn't mean that it deserves to revisit that. Doesn't mean that. I'm not saying the market's going to crash or anything, but when we have these steep drops here, and then Apple also lowered the guidance for their earnings, and then they, you know, it's some shady practices going on here. Some shady practices, and I don't think it's, you know, if your company is doing well, like when Steve Jobs was selling the iPhone, they didn't have to do those kind of things. You know, they didn't have to do those PR practices where, hey, let's lower guidance before earnings and then let's put the earnings out. You know, if your company's doing well, you're not worried about that. You put the earnings out, things are going great. Have a nice day. We're making money. Shareholders are making money. Our products are doing well. You know, but then when your product's not doing well, your company's not doing as well, and you start doing shady PR tactics like Apple just did, and you know, you got to be careful. Kind of like a smoke and mirrors. I'm not saying we're going to crash or anything, but we're not you know, we're still in dangerous territory. I mean, Apple itself is still like $60 lower than what it was. So, Whole Foods is Amazon's downfall? Yeah, maybe. But I don't. So I got my groceries delivered from Amazon and Whole Foods and stuff like that. I did the grocery service. The one thing that I don't like about the Amazon Fresh is what they call it, and they utilize Whole Foods generic brand. It's like 365 or something brand, or they don't have everything in stock. Like, you go in there and you want to buy milk. Like, I went to go, like, during the snowstorms and stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy milk. I'll have it delivered and get all this stuff going. They didn't have milk. I'm like, well, why would you don't have what I need? And then, like, when you want to order meat, you can only order certain sizes and stuff. Like, it's not, I mean, I did it, like, when we had our daughter, we did that a lot, but it was harder, and you paid more, and you bought stuff that you didn't necessarily want. So they got a ways to go. But I know that Walmart is coming up with their grocery service is not in all Walmarts. I think the nearest Walmart that is on mine is like 15 miles away or something like that. So you got to be careful. Garrett still did 83 billion last quarter. Yeah, I'm not saying anything about the money that they make. I mean, they still made a lot of money. But what I'm saying is, in perspective, do companies deserve to be worth $1 trillion? Why do people buy milk and bread prior to storage? Well, I think it's more for Oliver. I think it's more of like, if for me, I don't care. I'll go without whatever. But if you have kids, you got to think about, like, what do they need? You know. And bread and milk are kind of like staples. Like, you use bread to make sandwiches with, and milk kids just drink. You know. For me, I could go without milk and bread, but you know, kids are what they are. Plus, you don't know how long you're going to be stuck inside for. You know, I literally spent $30 on milk at Costco before the snowstorm, and I was glad I did it. You know, and I still haven't had to buy milk in a while. So, Jimbo, Amazon season 1 to retest that 1710 area. I agree. Apple, yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. Apple should buy. A lot of companies, they need to morph into. I think Apple needs to probably morph into like more of like an entertainment company, or something. Do something. You know, I know they're trying to do stuff in the medical field. So is Amazon. I think if they have medical field breakthroughs, I mean, that's gonna be a great sector for them. But they got to be very careful. I mean, if you think about back at like GE. You know, GE has the aviation sector, the healthcare sector. Like, they started out. And they started branching out into all these different sectors. And then, like, it gets to be this, like, big conglomerate that can't move very well, and you're stuck, and you're not, you know, this division's not making as much money as it should, and you can't move. As with, like, a younger company or a more streamlined company, you're able to transition and move with the market and take advantage of certain things with the market. And the bigger Apple gets, the bigger Amazon gets, the harder it's going to get for them to compete. Someone's going to disrupt them. Oliver, they should buy Fitbit. I think they're trying to put Fitbit out of business. Yeah, it is a lot of milk. With, you know, these kids, I mean, these kids pound milk. I don't even know. I don't even like milk that much, and they just, you know, they pound it. Cortez says no company's being worth trillions. Apple has access to the planet's best and brightest, and all they come with is different colored iPhone. Yes. Yeah, I mean, we should. I don't know what they have planned coming up, but they need. I don't know. Like, eventually, if. Did it say on here? Where, I know it does on your iPhone. If we go to. Where are you? Where are you? I usually use my phone for this. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I mean, if you're looking at here, and it doesn't matter what company, what kind of company you're for. what company makes, but it doesn't matter what company you have or what product you make. If a product controls 50% of your bottom line of your revenue, you know, iPhone takes up 43% of their, so obviously that's a priority to Apple, and then App Store takes up 22%, and these are kind of paired, right? So this is like iPhone's really like, you know, with the App Store and services like 60%. They don't make any money on the watches. They don't make any money on Mac. They don't make any money on iPad. I mean, iPhone is it. Like this is it. This is it right here. This is what their company's broken down to. They have a couple products. iPhone, they got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, if you count the App Store, 5 products or so, and then some services that they do iCloud backups and stuff like that. But you know, the iPhone goes away. I mean, this company's in very big trouble. Like I like my iPhone. It's nice, but my iPhone doesn't do anything different than my last iPhone did. I mean, I have the XS, or what they call the 10s, whatever, and then I upgraded from the 7 Plus, but literally I have the same apps doing the same thing that I did in the last one. I mean, maybe I have a better camera. Face ID is kind of cool, but I mean, you got to be careful. I mean, if iPhone, they're not doing anything with, if you think about it, I mean, they're not doing anything with iPhone that is pushing their company forward. And they're actually struggling. I mean, they were struggling with the sales, and they released the 10R, the XR. I mean, like what's going on? You know, Apple's lost. They have a name. So yeah, I mean, it's just like any company. Like if you think about like GE, you know, GE, they had all these things. They did great in a lot of sectors, and then one day that started to dry up, and that stuff could dry up for Apple. That stuff could dry up for Amazon. Someone could come in and disrupt them. You know, what do people want? I don't think people, like if you think about 10 years from now, are people going to want this iPhone? Most likely not. People want to evolve. You know, people want something better. People want something different. I like the iPhone over Android, Matthew. I like the iPhone over Android. I don't think Apple's in trouble like immediately, but if you look at this, you know, if a company sorry, I was getting distracted here. You know, if a product is worth 50% of your business and that starts to decline, you're going to have trouble. Eric, have you thought about selling any puts lately? Yes, I have. I just haven't been selling any premium. Let's see, get some. Yeah, I'm not saying, yeah. I mean, Apple's just got to do something. So that's why I take a look at these evaluations. You know, I don't understand. And then when companies like Apple start doing like PR tactics to make their stock, like make the earnings blow back a little less, you gotta, you know, it's gonna be a rough ride. But I think there's going to be opportunity for options traders, whether it's going up or going down. We're gonna experience volatility, and volatility is what options traders need to make money on option selling and option buying. So we're at 43 minutes. You guys have any stocks you want to look at real quick? Snap is still moving up. It's like 850 almost. That's pretty crazy. Got the Twitter has earnings before open on Thursday, so you got to be mindful of that if you guys are trading that. Not really trading. I'm not really trading. I don't really trade Zynga or those kind of things. Only thing that looks interesting to me this week would be kind of what we talked about, and also Twitter. Yeah, the other thing about Apple is like their software is buggy too since like the last few years. Yeah. Garrett, I agree. Let's look at Baba. Baba, we talked about this yesterday. Baba did finally, it looked like it was declining here, kind of getting pushed under this 170 here, this wall, but now it's pushed through. Clear skies to 180, unless Trump has something to say about it. I just want to say this, but I have noticed that some loser stocks have been winners and some loser stocks winners. Yeah, I mean, it all depends on guidance, you know? And like Google actually closed green today. Let's see where Google's at here. You know, I think Google lowered guidance, but this would have probably been a good day trade if I was here for the morning. You know, gap down to 1100-ish area. Didn't gap down. I mean, like it hit after hours like 1100, and then it recovered overnight, and then it actually opened at 1130. Pretty crazy. So yeah, this would definitely have been but I guess I've been very hesitant to buying the dip, mainly because of how bad it was when you did buy the dip and you get your face ripped off. But buy the dip has been rewarding people left and right. I mean, Netflix as well today. Netflix went a little crazy, even though it slammed the door at close. I mean, this is still. I mean, Netflix went from 327 to 360 in a week. I mean, absolutely insane. BAC, Eric. BAC, I think is still in trouble here. I mean, it did go up above, you know, this 29 mark, but this is definitely trouble here. Bucks. T5, you missed everything. You're gonna have to hit the replay. We're gonna sign off soon. Oh, it's S Bucks. Sorry. FCU got rewarded on Netflix, left 125 on the table. Well, it's better than what I did. Is I did $40 profit on I lost $40 on Cron. I made $40 on GS. I really am in the same place I was at Open. Yeah, I mean this is definitely dangerous, but I do like trading these type of charts here, off of the 52-week highs, 52-week lows here. It just ripped. So, I mean, I might even actually put a trade on this. I did trade Starbucks a little bit back in here. It was like November area. Wasn't my most favorite stock, but, you know, right here, these 52-week highs here definitely make it interesting trade here. Just on Starbucks, you have to be prepared for, like, you can't be getting like 100% wins or anything like that. You're going to be looking for like 30%. 25%. So whew. Anyways, I gotta run, guys. Definitely it's been fun. I'm gonna cut the stream. We're at like 48 minutes, so we didn't quite make. We went longer last night. We're gonna cut it short a little bit today. I got some other things that I gotta attend to. You guys stay safe, stay green. Let's make some money this week. It's always us for cert.